everyone. We're the Good Doctors of Abbey Research. As always, I'm Dr. Kristen.
Dr. Erin here.
Welcome to the Good Doctors Diagnose for Wednesday, March 25th.
Woo, where did this month go?
Today, we are talking about the beloved television show, Derry Girls.
Genius.
You may have heard us talk about it before. This may be new to you.
Just once or twice.
Really briefly. It is a streaming show here in these United States and also Canada that is and in the UK, it is on Channel 4. That focuses on a group of teenagers, of high school students in the early 90s in the city of Derry in Northern Ireland. It is both entirely about Northern Ireland's conflict and nothing to do with it whatsoever, which is exactly what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
In that it has a lot to say about cross-cultural differences, because Northern Ireland always has a lot to say about cross-cultural differences.
Yes, and which is really interesting in the context of Northern Ireland, because what they mean by cross-cultural are two different sects of Christianity. Protestant and Catholicism, but those are the two biggest cultural differences within Northern Ireland, and that these young people, in
terms of population,
that these young people are dealing with on an everyday basis.
So one of the things, there's a particular episode, and we'll link the episode in the show notes. In the second season,
yeah,
where they end up kind of at a cross-community event, which these happened all the time. My husband either went to one or thought about going to one. All of our friends,
everybody in Northern Ireland did a cross-cultural ice skating event, bowling event, archery, whatever.
A weekend away.
In this one, they go on a weekend away and do like rock climbing, which was supposed to build like team and understanding, and like we rely on each other and all of these kinds of themes.
And all that's true, but teenagers don't care. So they made a chalkboard of all the stereotypes, and within our lives, this chalkboard is now iconic, is actually in a museum that we're going to go visit.
Yeah.
But it is literally just all of the stereotypes that Protestants have about Catholics and Catholics have about Protestants. And some of them are ridiculous. Many of them I heard. And
in the scene they set up, they're supposed to talk about their differences and similarities. And it's a group full of teenagers, and they're being facilitated to like think about what you have in common.
Yeah.
And all of these teenagers, all they can think about are the differences. So the chalkboard of the differences fills up
the whole chalkboard
like this really, really quickly. And they have a real hard time at the time of the exercise thinking about the similarities, which I think is true of a lot of cross-cultural differences. When whatever that cultural divide looks like between people from the same part of the United States, or people from different countries, or different religious backgrounds or economic backgrounds, it's so easy to say like, oh, you do that differently than I do. But the beautiful thing that the show shows us in this episode that we can all learn from is that the similarities we have are what makes us human.
Yep. Everyone is connected to other people. Parents are parents, children are children. We travel a lot, and we get to experience a lot of different cultures, and we often get asked about I get asked a lot about like what makes teenagers different in different countries. Oh, well, I bet you the teenagers in this country aren't nearly as spoiled as Americans. And I'm like, in their definition, they are, or they're just as entitled, because they don't have impulse control, and human brains are human brains. And yes, there's circumstances that are different, but fundamentally, we're all human. And none of us are good at remembering that when we're faced with something that appears to be a stark difference about something that we hold dear. So the greatest lesson that we would encourage you to take from Derry Girls in this episode, there's a million from others.
We'll be talking about it again.
Including the holiness of the Friday night chip shop trip.
Spoiler alert, this will come up again.
One of the gifts it gives us in this particular episode, and that we would encourage you to chew on in your own life, is that humans are humans no matter what their birthright is. And we have significantly more things in common than we ever don't, as long as we focus on being humans and not on our citizenry or our culture.
That's right. So that's all we've got for this GDD today, and everything for this week. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye.